Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Some more. This is Politics with Laura, and man, got a rough one for you today, but this is something that must be talked about. Now, this right here is Governor Wes More. Now, what this man did is he vetoed uh, the reparation bill for a study. Now, this study garbage has to stop because this has been in existence since what, 1970s. This study has been going on for the past 45 years. And I'm sorry, 45, 50 years, somewhere around there. And they're always studying all 50 states. Now, man, look. Governor Wes More is no friend, this guy right here, no friend of Black Americans. No, none, zero, nada, zippo. He undercuts what Black Americans is supposed to get because it's written back when we were freed from slaves. Now, some of you are going to say, oh, why are you going back to slavery? That's a long time. Shut up. Just shut the hell up. We never got it. Now, the slave owners got their reparations like that. Now, if you come from a family of slave owners and you're broke, that's because your descendants did not invest wisely. However, that's besides the point. We're talking about this man right here, him. Well, let's go ahead and get into it because I'm going to show the hypocrisy. Not only him, a lot of Caribbeans, yes, Caribbeans, a lot of you get into political positions and undercut Black Americans while doing everything for immigrants. However, you've done it so much that you have the white politicians looking at you like, well, damn, um, you do some serious boot licking. I mean, you're licking boots way too much. You may not like what I say, but that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. But let me go ahead and get to the article. Let me get to it. You can't make that. You can't, look, you can't make it up. Okay, okay, check this out. Maryland Governor Wes More vetoes slavery reparation study, citing need for the work itself. What does that mean? I mean, what more has to be done? Now, we all know that the Caribbean still is under British rule, part of the Commonwealth. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether if this right here is trickling down from England because they don't want to, because they benefited a lot. And even though that England did stop slavery before the other European countries, it doesn't stop what the Commonwealth is doing to Black Americans. All right? Just a friendly thought. All right. Now here, how do I make this bigger? Okay, it says here, Maryland Wes More announced Friday that he will veto measures to create a commission to study potential slavery reparations for the state. Now, Maryland was a slave state. What do you need to study? Now, let's put it out here. Wes More is a Jamaican American. He has no ties to this country. However, he has ties to Jamaica. That was a slave country as well. Do you support CARICOM, Governor Wes More? Do you support it? And if you support CARICOM, why are you cutting the throats of the Black Americans who deserve reparations? Now, look, you can't serve two masters. You'll love the one and hate the other. All right? Ooh. But guess what, Westmore? You're going to have more problems than a little bit. Those of you who Caribbean Americans and um African immigrants to America, you're going to have some issues too, and I'm going to point it out. And keep in mind, Black Americans have done a lot for you all. You have done so much to where we're like, hold your own water. And when you see the water you're going to have to hold, ooh, don't come to us. Remember, you've been cutting our throats for a long time, but let me continue on. All right. It says Moore, a Democrat who, I'm sorry, Moore, a Democrat who is the state's first Black governor. He's not a Black man. He is not. He is a Jamaican American. Let's not do that because you all want to separate yourself so much. I'm not Black. I'm not a Black American. You all are lazy and drug addicts and criminals. All this stuff. Come on now, and you all immigrants do. Whenever it's something positive, oh, the first Jamaican American, Haitian did this, Nigerian did that, the first Ghanaian did that. But whenever it's something negative, it's like, oh, Black Americans. So, um, is this a way for immigrants from the diaspora to get reparations for yourselves and take it away from Black Americans? I mean, hey, you came here for a better life. Black Americans fought for you to come here, and you came here, and now you're undermining us, and now you're trying to creep into what is ours, and you're trying. No, we offered you a better life. That's all you asked for. That was it. That was it. But I digress. Okay. Okay, more. Okay. And the only Black governor currently serving wrote in his veto letter that he applauded the legislators' work on the bill. So they passed it. He vetoed it. Now, Wes More, who told you to veto it? Huh? Because you're the governor of the state. You are the head person of that state. Basically, you are the president of Maryland if the United States was not under one federal constitution, right? Now you vetoed it. Now, who told you to do it? I would love to hear your response. I got to get a pair of white boots for you, for you to kiss on. Oh, white boot kisser. But in the light of day, the many important studies that have taken place on this issue over nearly 3 decades, as I said, it is time for, I'm sorry, now it is time to focus on the work itself, narrowing the racial and foundation disparities of disparities that led to inequality. Do we really need to go into that? We know what the disparities are. It is economical disparities. Now we all got that. Oh, let's go ahead and integrate. We did that. We did all of that. It didn't help. We needed financial or economical um assistance. Now the education, please keep it. Half the people, that come out of the school system can't read. Keep your education. We don't need it. Thank you very much for screwing up the whole entire United States. All right? No, thank you. Narrowing the racial wealth gap, expanding home ownership, uplifting entrepreneurs of color. Why is it entrepreneurs of color? Now, this is now, just like I said before, I haven't even read this article. Just like I said, they're trying to put themselves into the reparation package to assist them. Look, Jamaica, Caribbeans, Africans got all types of grants, everything they need to uplift them that never came to Black Americans. Um, what is it called? Affirmative action was supposed to go to Black Americans to make Black Americans equal to whites. Now, you can get off a plane, a boat, a skateboard, a speedboat, however you get here, and you get affirmative action that had nothing to do with you at all. That was to make Black Americans equal to whites due to the gap, the wealth gap, all types of gaps that have nothing to do with anyone else but except Black Americans and white Americans. Anybody else in between, it does not pertain to you. My question is this: why are you putting yourself where you do not belong? You're crowbarring yourself into what is between Black and white Americans. Now, you need to stop. You need to stop. You man, I mean, it is beyond comprehension what's going on here. But let me continue on because it gets worse. Okay, inequalities from food insecurity to education, Wes More wrote. I already said that. Okay, the governor also notes in his veto letter that Black politicians have risen to the highest level of government in the United States in recent years. Get the hell out of here. What? You are a backstabber. I mean, I, me, politics with Laura. I used to go to demonstration to fight to bring immigrants here. I had no idea I was bringing my executioner here. Yeah, I wish somebody would have pulled me aside and listening to my to the baby boomers. They're like, well, we had, it was all about, we were all one solidarity. Everybody was all together as one. Now, the immigrants who came here in the 60s and 70s are not like these folks here. Nah, completely different. And I have to say, being a Democrat has cut my throat. I'm talking about me personally. I don't know about you. And now I'm an independent and I'm being bombarded with my stupid choices of voting. And yes, I said stupid choices of voting because now I got somebody named Wes More hijacking that belongs to Black Americans, descendant of slaves. Okay. And another thing, not all slaves came from Africa. There were Black Indians who were enslaved as well. And in case of you say, oh, well, no. Look at Christopher Columbus. He said there were copper colored people here. Let's not go there. All right. Didn't I say it was going to get worse? Oh, man. Maryland also has a Black attorney general, a Black Senate, a House Speaker, and a Black treasurer. Now, when you say Black, you use that term so loosely. My question is this: where are your people from? Wes More looks looks like a regular Black American. He's Jamaican. My question is this: I need to see your paperwork, your lineage. Where do you come from? Because it seems like a lot of these Black politicians have it in for Black Americans and cutting our throats left and right. But hey, Wes More, I didn't lose the fact that you did everything for illegal immigrants. You gave them everything, even knocking on people's door and asking people that come from immigrant backgrounds, did they vote? Yes. Oh, yes. Quite interesting. Sneaky and suspicious indeed. But I digress. Okay, we have moved to a partnership and with leadership across the state um, to lift up Black families and address racial disparities in our communities. More wrote. Well, when you say Black families, right? Would love to poll how many Native Black Americans you have touched. I really would love to know that because you're full of sugar, honey, and iced tea. You're full of it. But I'm not going to go any further. Wait a minute. Reparations were a legislative priority. Were? Were? So it's not anymore, Westmore? Not anymore? The bill was introduced this year to legislative session as a top priority of the legislation Black Caucus. Now, this is quite interesting about the Black Caucus. The Black Caucus has done zero for Black Americans, but you have Cory Booker. All these individuals, supposedly Black people, okay? Black people. Many of you people are not Black people. You have your nationality hyphenated American, and you need to stop confusing people because white people don't know who you are, but we do. Okay, keep in mind, Wes More is Jamaican American. All right, Jamaican. He may look like some Black guy down the street that lives around the corner from you, but no, he's Jamaican American. Let's be specific about that. Undercutting Black Americans. Yes, that is what you were doing. But, I don't want to go any further on this. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay. At this time, when the White House and Congress are actively targeting Black communities, when have you cared about Black communities, Westmore? When? When? You were too busy kissing the boots of certain politicians to get up to where you are. Now, you can't get to that level without sacrificing some things. I would love to just walk through your background and see the little nasty undercutted things you have done, how you undercut certain people. Because to get there, you had to do some dirty stuff. And the dirty stuff what you're doing, I mean, you're putting it all out there. Now, if it were for I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that because this is going to make so much sense. What he is doing is going to make so much sense. So just hold on. Let me get to Jim Jordan because Jim Jordan, he was like, oh no, no. This has to stop. Oh, you're going to have rainy days. Yeah, Westmore, I got to show you this. Jim Jordan. You may not know who he is, but you're going to know because the foolishness that has been going on in the colored or immigrant or minority communities, you have upset white people. Now, you can upset Black people. They don't give a damn about that. But when you upset white people, that's when things get done. And you upset a powerful congressman. My goodness. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, it's going to be quite interesting. You have messed with the folks. You have upset some people to where Jim Jordan's bill mandates for the U.S. leaders to be native born. Marinate on that. Now, some of you may say, I am native born. I'm a United States citizen. Are you? Don't even bother to understand the laws, the Constitution. You just say, hey, America's rich. And we're not. We're not rich. Only a couple of major cities pull in the money. Those of you who have been here understand that. Those of you who are like, America has gold on the streets and we can go get it. But America taxpayers give 160 countries money every year. Every year. Let me see. Israel gets like what? Man, they get about $1 trillion. They get a lot of damn money. For about what, 30? No, they get not 1 trillion. I don't think it's 1 trillion. I think what, 4 or 5 billion. And that's every year, arms and everything. We basically support Israel. Outside of Israel, if you say anything about them, you're an anti-Semite and all this other stuff. That you need to stop that because you're going to wear that out to where no one would care. Please stop that. In my opinion, do what you want, but you're just taking that and you're throwing it around to where it's not going to have any meaning. Seriously. The next country that gets $2 billion every year is Ethiopia. Let me see. Ukraine been got hand over fist in money. Don't track it. Zelensky's like, I don't know where the money is while his wife is over there in France shopping for bags and everything. Mrs. Zelensky, could you please take that stuff back and return that money to the taxpayers of the United States? I'm just saying it will be very helpful to us. Your husband's not keeping up with the money and where the money's going. That's our money, and you're abusing it. Nigeria, it's about. So the native born part, again, you're like, hey, politics with Laura. Laura, what do you mean? I was born in the United States. Again, like I said, many people who come here do not even bother to understand the laws, the Constitution, let alone speak English. Okay, that's a big thing. You come here and don't speak English and then find yourself in a trick bag, and you are in a trick bag. That's why Donald Trump is talking about people who are born in the United States. You have to be a naturalized citizen or a natural born citizen, which means you've been here for generations. Guess who's been here for generations? Black Americans descended of slaves. Now, Black Americans descended of slaves were not considered human. And they made the 14th Amendment to make us citizens. That has nothing to do with anyone else outside of the United States. It has nothing to do with the Cherokee Indians, Blackfoot. They have nothing to do with this. It's specifically for Black Americans and people who were enslaved. Okay? So if your parents come here and both of you were immigrants with a green card, illegal, having babies, you do not get any of this. You don't have birthright citizenship, which means you don't get anything from the United States. You're gonna say, "Hey, politics with law, that's horrible." No, that's the law. You have other countries that do the same thing. South Africa, they have the same thing. Cameroon has the same thing. So if that's matter, does Honduras have that? I think Honduras has the same thing. Now, if that is so horrible, denounce all the other countries who do the same thing. Or is it because the United States of America is what you call the land of opportunity? Okay, it is. But when you step on other people, Governor Wes More, that becomes ugly. And you have this foolishness has reached white people and they're tired of it. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty of it. Here comes the rainy days. All right. Here, Jim Jordan, the latest legislative proposal to push for American-born leadership. American-born leadership. Natural-born, what I just stated, okay? All right, in recent political development, Congress Jim Jordan has introduced a new bill that has sparked significant discussion and debate across the United States. The legislation, which has garnered substantial attention from both supporters and critics, proposed that the United States leaders be American born. This article delves into the details of the proposal. The implications is the various reactions it has elicited. There are a lot of people that were born of people that either both parents were illegal immigrants, both parents had residency green cards, and it doesn't affect the people that are naturalized citizens, as I just stated. That's a different status. You have gone through everything you were supposed to go through to become a citizen. Then you have children if you don't come from this country. It is what it is. And I have to say, Congressional Black Caucus, man, your days are numbered because Black Americans, what is it? Descendant of slaves, foundational Black Americans, however you want to put it, do not see you as viable. You're crashing out for illegal aliens. Maxine Waters, Cory Booker, Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, who else? Not Byron, not Byron Donaldson, which he is Jamaican and Jamaican American. Now I'm starting to see exactly why he says what he says. Byron, I get it. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, you're cutting Black Americans' throats. Period. 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 All right. But let me see. Do I want to go any further? Understanding the bill's provision. Jim Jordan, a prominent figure in the Republican Party and an influential voice in Congress, aims to amend current laws regarding eligibility for holding leadership positions within the United States government. The proposed bill stipulates that all individuals aspiring to these roles must be born on American soil and required to apply for the whole range of leadership positions, encompassing not only the president and vice president, but also members of Congress and federal positions. Quite interesting. These federal judges crashing out for illegal immigrants, having opened up back doors and all this other stuff, while on the same token, giving Black Americans crazy sentences, and you'll see the disparity between the two. You did too much, way too much. You did. But the rainy days doesn't stop there. This is what I want to point out. I want to point this out. It's right here, CARICOM. I find this quite interesting. Here, Caribbean Reparation Commission outlines the path to reconciliation, truth, justice for victims of slavery and their descendants. This is a Caribbean reparation bill while we have Caribbeans over here undermining Black Americans. I find this quite interesting. But It gets deeper. It gets deeper than that. This right here is our 10-point action plan, right? Okay, here. What is the CARICOM Reparation Commission? The CARICOM Reparation Commission is a regional body created to establish the moral, ethical, and legal case for the pavement of reparation of the government of all former colonial powers and the relevant institutions that those countries to the nations of people in the Caribbean community for the crimes against humanity and nature, and native genocides and the transatlantic slaves. Um, that sounds like something that Black Americans are fighting for. But the Caribbeans, Americans, Candace Owens, you are the biggest offender, but then you're fighting for CARICOM while you're cutting our throats. And then you talk about Black solidarity, the diaspora solidarity. Well, where's the solidarity at? The only thing that I see are Black Americans getting our throats cut by people like Wes More. Yeah, this affects me personally. So you do hear a little oomph in my voice. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. But it goes on and on. And these are the people that are, undermining. But that's not it. It gets deeper. You can't make this stuff up. Here, CARICOM is connected with the United States. Now, very interesting. I have no problem with that. But what I have a problem is Caribbeans and Africans from the continent that live here and have children here undermining Black Americans. Watch this. This is from CARICOM, right? Here. And these are just articles, right? CARICOM and the United States hold the 9th meeting of the Trade and Investment Council. We have a hard time getting the US government investing in Black American people when you have the United States government investing in the Caribbean for CARICOM. That's some backstabbing stuff, Caribbeans. Very backstabbing stuff. Oh, let's go down a little further. Statement on the meeting between the heads of state and the government of the Caribbean and the US Vice President Kamala Harris. She's Jamaican, Indian Jamaican. Very interesting. But then Kamala Harris had nothing to do anything specifically for Black Americans. This is the problem when you have people that are not from the soil who come and undercut any and everything that is Black American achievement for them to take it away and take it for themselves. This is why Donald Trump is like, nah, 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 no, 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 no. He's deporting everybody. And guess who's not going to stop Black Americans? We're taking a step back saying, we made a mistake by helping you. That sounds terrible, but this is cutthroat stuff. It's cutthroat, undermining. You had kissed too many boots. You have licked too many boots to where you have no more boots to lick. You have licked all the boots, and now whatever your purpose was, it's done. You backed the wrong horse. Now it's interesting because I see these videos out there that now you have people crying for Black Americans to help. Why would we help someone that bit us? Now you have a bunch of snakes. Some are venomous, some are garden snakes. You're not going to put your hand in there and hope to get a garden snake. No. You did it to yourself. Wes More. But let's go down the line. CARICOM leadership meets U.S. Vice President Harris. Oh my goodness. CARICOM foreign minister meets U.S. Deputy Secretary, vaccines, climates, and issues related. Remarks Secretary, I mean, it just goes on and on how the U.S. is assisting CARICOM get reparations while the Caribbean Americans are systematically cutting Black Americans' throats. Huh. Hmm. Well, Governor Westmore, this looks pretty bad for you. It does. It does. It does. Cutthroat backstabbing mentality. But you may think that I'm harsh. No, he's harsh. A lot of these politicians are harsh. You have that one up there in Rhode Island. What's her name? Oh, the twerking. Oh, that was so embarrassing. She's from Jamaica. She got on her hands and she did a handstand twerking to get into Congress. Oh, my goodness. You can't make this. Look, wait. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. Oh my goodness. And now she doesn't want to be looked upon as the twerking senator. Shameful. But what are your thoughts? Governor Wes More undercutting Black Americans. And he did it for what? His masters are getting ready to cut him at his knees, along with everyone else that has done what he did. I'm gonna tell you something. You don't seem to understand one thing about people, especially Americans. White Americans will would respect you more if you were to tell them to get the hell out of my face. You're not going to treat me like that. They respect you more if you were to push back. Now, when you lean into what they want you to do and you do it, they don't trust you. If you will undercut someone who looks like you to get ahead, they don't trust you. Imagine what you would do to them. Just a thought. But on that note, like, subscribe, leave a message. If you don't like what I said, show me where I'm wrong. I gave you proof. Show me where I'm wrong. Now, if you don't like what I said because it hurts your feelings or how you feel, you can feel how you want. It doesn't change the fact that everything what I said was factual. Thank you for stopping by.